Welcome back to the Law&Crime Network. I'm Heather Hansen, and we have got an afternoon full of trials here for you at the Law&Crime Network. Right now, we are still live in the Rosenbaum courtroom. We're going to take you straight there. Instructions from the judge in this case. I want to bring in our guest, Jose Nieves. He's a prosecutor and certainly has experience with situations like this where the judge has to re-instruct the jury. What do you think about this question about whether or not the perpetrator has to be present? Do you think that that impacts which of the couple here?
Yeah, I think it does impact probably the the husband. I think what they're trying to do is determine liability, criminal liability, and to see whether how much does a person actually have to engage, assist, or supervise a criminal act before being held criminally liable. And as the judge has instructed them, it could be a wide range of actions. You don't have to be present. You don't have to be there pushing the person's hand or doing anything like that. You can guide them. You can encourage them. Yeah. So it's a really wide-ranging activity that could inculpate you into a crime. And it's because of the evidence in this case, they're looking at it and making sure that they don't get it wrong. I mean, it's a high-level case, high profile. The charges are very serious, and they're very concerned about criminal liability.
Well, and there's so many counts against two different people who did two different things, so it gets even more confusing. And we know this issue. I mean, I remember back in the day, I covered the Michelle Williams case, that young girl who encouraged her boyfriend to commit suicide in Massachusetts, and it was a similar situation. As you pointed out, Jose, you don't have to be there, and she was ultimately held criminally responsible. Right. But here, where you've got a jury that has to parse out counts against the wife, counts against the husband, and then various counts, it's not really a surprise that the jury is out as long as they have been, is it?
No, not at all. I mean, this is the issues are knowledge, the issues are intent, the issues are very complicated in this case, and I think that it just really means that they're going through the evidence very meticulously, very carefully, to making sure that whatever liability they do assign, it's supported by the evidence. And I think that's what's key for every jury is when the charges are so severe and so really, murder charges, you have to be very careful.
Of course, and what they're doing is taking the time they're supposed to be taking, but apparently there was a reporter who was a little impatient and decided to give the jury a little nudge. Take a look at what the judge had to say about that. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. What was happening there was this reporter had approached one of the jurors. She had asked how long they were going to take to deliberate, how much longer they would be. It was reported to the court, and now, Jose, we have a problem because the defense is going to move for a mistrial. Were you surprised to see the judge there deny the mistrial?
I'm not surprised to see that he denied the mistrial because I know that the judge was careful in considering what the intrusion was on the deliberations, how much influence the reporter had on the juror, what was the extent of questioning, and it was really accidental. It was incidental contact, and I think that it really, shows how we have to really strike a careful balance between access to a criminal trial by the public through the media and also protecting the defendant's rights to a fair trial. You don't want a juror to feel pressured to coming to a decision because they feel like an outside force like the public or the media expects them to be done in a certain amount of time. Yeah,
without a doubt. It was, in my experience, the judges that I'm in front of would have been a lot more harsh, I think, with that reporter than he was. Is it the same for you? I mean,
I think so. I think the cameras saved her. I think
That's
the judge.
Good point. That's a good point.
I think the judge tempered himself in his response and just tried to make it very clear that there's a serious situation here, and there was a mistrial. There was possible mistrial, moved for. And it's not something to be taken lightly.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot going on here at the Law&Crime Network. Two other trials that we want to talk about, so we're going to take a break and we'll be right back.